one and only show where the young generation can express themselves, one and only show where that young generation can share their ideas, and the one and only show where young generation can share their opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome in African News Time Show. And this night we have our guests. We have Mr. Gatabazi Davis, Youth Commissioner in Pan-Africa Movement, Rwanda chapter, and Madame or Mademoiselle, Madame Miss Nere Jolie, Youth Commission member. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
And feel free, feel comfortable. Your first time on Isango Star?
Not really.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not my first. Not my first.
All right. And we have also our audience. Hello, guys. Are you okay? Hello. Can you clap for you guys, please? Thank you. And this evening, we're going to talk about the path to unite African youth and leadership. That is our topic. And with Mr. Gatabazi Davis and Miss Nere Jolie, we're going to ask them some questions. As you know, guys, this show is your show. As I say, Rwanda is open, Kigali is yours, Isango Star is your home, African Youth Time is your show, and I'm Mr. Jig Blue. How can I say MC Jig Blue? I'm your host. Yes. Alors, my first question, I want to ask Mr. Gatabazi. Are you okay?
I'm very fine. Yes.
How do you feel? What is your first impression about this audience? People are watching us at home.
Yeah.
We are also live on YouTube, Canal Plus, and Star Time.
Yes.
How do you feel?
It's a great feeling. It's one of thing that I've been thinking about it right from when we are preparing to come.
Yeah.
Attracting more than 6 countries is something remarkable, and I think it's something that all TV stations or broadcasting agencies can imitate, so that whatever we talk about, it becomes receptive to a number of countries. So it's really good. I'm really happy, and I can't wait.
All right, don't worry. You can't wait, I know, but me too, I can't wait to ask you some questions. Miss Jolie,
Yes.
how are you?
I'm good.
Are you okay?
I'm really good.
Good. So can you tell us your feeling? How do you feel also?
I'm honored to be here as your guest of honor. I know many are out here listening to us. They know more than we do, but maybe you chose us because there's a reason behind that. So thank you so much for giving us this platform. I think it's a good one for us.
It's a pleasure for us, for all the team, for Isango Star. So my first question goes to Mr. Davis. What memory or key experience from your childhood shapes your vision of leadership and Africa Unites?
Thank you so much. This question is very, very, very funny because it goes back to how someone comes up.
Yeah.
Where you were born, your surrounding, and your younger aspirations, what you wanted to be when you want to grow up. And of course, it is affected by so many factors, so many surrounding factors. So, like in my case, I happen to be born in a family whereby there are few leaders or people that have contributed to the liberation of this country, and at an early stage, I was always inquisitive, asking myself, my parents, what they passed through, and their contribution, and what made them to be where they are. So it's a combination of so many things whereby you ask yourself, if your father was a soldier, you grow up and you want to be a soldier. If your father was a musician, you grow up and you want to be a musician. If your uncle maybe comes to visit you most often at home, and your uncle is a very big businessman, you get inspired.
Yeah.
So it's a mixture of all those things. But in my case, it so happened that my father is into leadership, and it triggers me, and I find himself not being at home most of the time.
Yeah.
And when he comes back at home, I ask him, where have you been? Where have you been, and what is going on? One day you're in this district, another day in this district, another day in this district, and there is those 5, 6, 7 years whereby there is no that parent is always moving, and it really shapes you in a way. And when you talk to them, these children that were whose parents are part of the liberation struggles, they live a life whereby one way or the other their life is impacted by the life cycle of their parents.
Yeah.
Because when they get home, whatever they've been passing through during work is what affects them in one way or the other. Like how you always find them rotating around the word called discipline.
Yeah.
You always find them rotating around the word love your country. You find them rotating around the word called hard work.
Yeah.
Sacrifice. We joined the army when we were very young, so you also have to, we didn't have anything. We are refugees, or we were like this and this and this. So in one way or the other, all those young stories at younger age, it really shapes you in a way. Yeah. So in my case, I think it became a rubber stamp, whereby I took it up now. And one thing I recall my father telling me is, have discipline in life, have determination, have a clear vision, and it shapes that character at a younger age. And if you're disciplined enough to also abide by that, it really shapes you. And I'm sharing this story, so many African young youth and young people. One is a soldier, one is a politician, one is whose mother and father, maybe they're into, all these noble professions. Maybe he's a pilot, maybe he's an engineer, maybe he's a carpenter, maybe, all these, and everything that your parents have passed through, it really shapes what you later become in one way or the other. And that is a real story that I really wanted to share with people that are listening to us, so that we understand that now it triggers, it arouses your consciousness and say, if in Rwanda there was a period of turmoil whereby this genocide, there's discrimination, there's genocide against Tutsi taking place, and these young men and women are standing up to fight, so that they fight their rightful positions, and to give a country its rightful position, and it shapes you as a young person in one way or the other, whereby you end up asking yourself, okay, Dad, you went to the bush because you are fighting this, so what is going to be my battle? It starts now shaping into your inner mind. So what were they fighting? They were fighting discrimination. Going back to your question, unity. They are fighting to restore unity that was broken, that was fighting divisive leadership. In this case, in most of African countries, we are finding these issues there. So it's a combination of how you grow up, and I find myself at a younger age becoming a leader. I started becoming a leader as a class monitor in my class.
That's one now.
Yeah, class monitor. Now you're at home. Your dad is instilling all those philosophical understanding and psychological understanding. A country is like this. You have to behave like this. You have to learn to live with people. You have to learn to collaborate with people. You need to be humble. The cultural aspect and the instilling of everything that they're passing through. And now it becomes part of your life. It shaped me. I find myself I started becoming a class monitor in my senior 2, I think, senior 2.
Senior 2.
In my primary, I used to be chosen among students to go and represent other students in different theater. You know those theaters young children play while at school.
Yeah.
So it shapes you in one way or the other, and I go, as time goes by, I find myself as the head boy back at my school. These are real stories, you know. But where is it coming from? It is the motivation. So the unity of Africa and how African unity has to be restored. It is instilling through young people, young generation, the values of patriotism, the values of, at an early stage, okay, in every discipline you're into, okay. And we have different parts. It's very normal.
Yeah.
And that is why now, on my case, and that part of the story, it really shaped me, it really turned me into my way of thinking at an early age. And I find myself everywhere. Even when I left secondary school going to the university, I find myself into leadership. This time I was in ministry. Okay? And ministry now, I'm a pastor at the university, okay? So, but it's a combination of that leadership nurturing, those characters of leadership nurturing, time management, waking up early. I used to wake up early when I was young.
So all of those things you are talking about, to find them to this young generation, it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy.
So that is why I saw many questions about people who are sending us some message in our social media. So we will come back to Africa Unite, because I saw some question about that Africa Unite. But let me give let me ask Miss Jolie also a question. So to be a member of Youth Commission, how do you feel about it? Is it a pleasure? Is it a big responsibility?
I don't even call it a pleasure, but it's a must for every African youth to be a member of the Pan-African movement.
Why?
Because, okay, first of all, we are talking about unity. As the Africans, we have to share the unity. So for you to know about the unity, you have to join these movements so that at least you understand what you're telling people. So we hear outside talking about unity, Africans, we are not united, Africans, we should do this and that and that. Where do we learn that? It's through the movement, through the Pan-African movement. So being a member, it's not even, I can't call it a pleasure. Yeah. It's a must for everyone to be a member.
So what about me? I'm not even the member of Africa.
You're most welcome.
Of Pan.
The doors are open.
The doors are open.
So what I have to do to be a member?
I think my leader can.
The leader
actually, it's an open space. Everyone is allowed to participate.
Rwanda is open. Kigali is yours.
Yeah. Not
only
mine. Not mine.
Right.
But you're open to participate at any time.
Not
we
only
are
one
here.
guidance,
We engage. Have different activities.
Yeah.
And this program is actually part of it.
Of course, why not? Good. Sure. So then let's go to the second question. How did your university here contribute to strengthening your leadership skills and commitment to Africa?
Yes, it is in the story that I was telling you. I found myself studying in India, and one day you go in a restaurant, or you go. It was my first time to hear word Negro. So you find some local people, not every society is open to the world. Okay, some societies are still, confined within their boundaries and the way they are thinking. And when you go to buy something and you hear people whispering in, "Hey, Negro," something Negro, and this has not happened to me only. It has happened to every person with a dark skin in these countries. So, but as time goes by, that is when I started now. When you meet, one day you meet people calling you Negro, and when you go in class, you're at the top of the class, or you're one of the best in class. You're the same, or you're performing even much better than they perform. And you go back to your room and start thinking, hey, this Negro, if I go to the house now, the next time when I go to the market, they may, you know, beat me or chase me around the streets because I look black. So that is now where it started, you know, touching my understanding. I say, hey, okay, now I have a belonging, and my belonging is Africa. And Africa has the potential to drive its own economic development and reach the level it wants. You know, let me not focus on the discrimination some African people meet, like my story that I'm telling you. But at the university, I took my background is in pharmacy. I'm a pharmacist. And now I start thinking, how does my profession contribute to the development of my country? So that is a question I always ask myself, because my profession is now my journey. Because that is my path, okay? So I start thinking, how does my profession contribute to my journey of giving the best I can? You know, we still have issues of industries in Africa. How do I prepare myself? How do I equip myself with enough knowledge, more knowledge, so that I continue giving back to the community through what I studied? So it is in that context. There is that social discrimination that you meet as an African. So I happen to be in India. Maybe other people go to the US and they meet the same issue, go to Europe and meet the same issue. We hear testimonies around, even on social media, okay? But now the most important thing, the world needs skills. You need to table skills. Your skills that you have, they are the one that shape the person, the Africa that you want to build, okay? So if people invested like in pharmaceutics, they come in Africa, they invest in drug production, they've gave their contribution. So it all starts at the university. I start thinking, how do I contribute? Then when I came back, I started going on market. Now I'm working and I'm serving our people. So that is one example, and I think it's really, you know, growing, and every day it's a continuous process. And I think I think every young African that is listening to us, you can be an engineer, you can be a pilot, you can be, you know, an economist, you're into business, you're into IT. There's something you can do to table and address African key challenging issues.
All right, I have a question for Miss Jolie. Yes. And Jolie, may I ask the question?
It's okay.
Good. So the question is, what role can young women play in uniting Africa youth across borders?
When you talk about women, then now you're bringing my my emotions, you know, you're bringing them to be alert. So I don't know why you've specified women, because I think right now things are changing. Things are really changing. There is this gender that we talk about always. So I think women and men, there's no difference.
Guys.
In promoting the unity that we are talking about, I think there is no difference, because we all need it. So the role that we can play is the same role that you guys should play. So I don't know why we are separating the men and the women at this point.
Okay, let's take both.
Okay, let's talk about the youth, African youth. How can we promote the unity?
Yeah.
First of all, some of us are students, some of us are working. In place of work, in place where we are, you know, in those schools, we meet different people from different countries, speaking different languages. But if we come together as Africans, like African youth, we make ourselves like, okay, we differentiate our differences. Whatever that makes us different, we put it aside. We're like, okay, me, I'm a French speaker, I can talk to this, you know, Anglophone, something like that. So if we differentiate ourselves from the differences that separate us, I think, and we come together, I think it will be much better for us to be united. Being united, I'll give an example. Yeah. I was, how do you call it, class representative in university. I was doing international relations. We had only 6 Rwandans in class. The rest were out, let me call them foreigners.
Yeah, yeah.
They were other African brothers and sisters. So in that class, I was, you know how most of them behave. We have different, bring up,
different cultures.
different cultures. There's a way we behave differently. So bringing those people together, making them understand whatever you want to tell them, it's really difficult for someone young like me. You bring all those, mature people, grown-up people, you bring them together to understand what you want to bring to them. It's really hard. But if you bring to them, you tell them we are Africans, there's nothing that this is different from us. You're Sudanese, I'm Rwandan, you're Gabonese, I'm Rwandan. There's no difference. The only difference with us is, where we grow up, but we can change that as Africans. So I think the role that we can play is, being one and understand each other. We remove the differences.
Okay, let me talk about being one. Do you think it is easy?
Very easy.
To convince all of that young generation to being one in the same time, to have the same mind? Yeah.
So like I was saying, it's very easy, but again very hard. So it's step by step. There's no child who is born and starts eating this hard food. You start breast milk, slowly by slowly we can get there. But as long as we start with, understanding what we need to do, I think it will be much better. It's very easy for us to be one, but if people don't talk about it like we are doing right now, if we don't meet and start discussing about it as the youth, I think we are the most population in Africa, the youth. So the youth, we are the people that have, we're the ones that have to pay a very big load than even those leaders that are on top, the parents. We're the ones who have to play a very big role in this by bringing ourselves together, trying to understand why is it failing.
All right.
So slowly by slowly we can get there.
So behind all of that, which kind of strategy do you have as a Pan-African movement to try to convince all of us? As you say, we have different nationality. Other they are from Gabon, other they are from DRC, other they are from Rwanda. So, which kind of strategy you can make and give us a good feedback to convince all of them?
So the first strategy was the Pan-African movement that was put into place. It brings all the Africans. I think Pan-African movement, it brings all Africans, not only Rwandans, but every nationality is allowed to be a member. When we are in our movement, we talk about Africa. We talk about the love for Africa. We talk about how we can be one. We learn a lot. So through those seminars that we attend, through those leadership skills that we are being taught, we have those skills that we are being taught in Pan-African movement. I think people get to understand step by step what we talk about unity, African unity. I think that's one strategy, but more are coming and more are being operated, but that is the most that I can talk about right now.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Davis, another question for you. In your opinion, what role should African youth play in building the unity of the continent, according to you?
There are plenty of things that the African youth can do, but among many, it is self-education.
Self-education. What do you think about self-education?
Education, the most important thing about education is it turns you into a builder and a doer. Okay, because education has equipped you with necessary skills on market, and these skills, they are going to help you build the life you want, and this life you want is going to turn into a daily doer of things. Okay, you cannot innovate without education. One way or the other, you need education. Okay, let's take an example. The richest man in Africa is Dangote.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
You cannot run such a big refinery without skilled labor. You always need skills, whether we like it or not. Okay, and that is why I encourage every youth in Africa to try and go to school. Okay, if there is financial constraints back at home, there are these government programs that are always there. And in every African country, you'll find different government programs that facilitate or give an opportunity to young people to pursue their education, please go to school. And if you're a school dropout, try to do something. Okay, we still have a problem of internet penetration, you know, internet accessibility to all African countries, but in majority of the countries, we see internet is coming up. People are getting internet. People are online. Everyone is using social media. You know, there is something called Web 2.0. I don't know whether you've heard about it. But everything is online nowadays. Robotics. Nowadays, there's no need. We used to use charcoal to cook. But nowadays, we use induction cookers. Okay, there's no need of having smoke in your whole house. So things are changing every day. So there's a lot of innovation. So we need to invest in education. So another thing is we need to do to overcome ethnicity. What can youth do? They need to overcome divisive politics, ethnicity. Ethnicity was never into our systems.
But now it's there.
It has been weaponized. Okay, why do I have to be a victim when I go in an African country? Why should an African person come to run and become a victim? Why? Give me a reason. Give me a tangible reason. Is it an investment? Do you earn money from discriminating me? What? So we still have a problem of discrimination in Africa. And for us to have a very good, stable Africa is to overcome the boundaries of ethnicity. And we need to account our political systems. How do you account our political systems? Are you uniting us or are you dividing us? There's a proverb in English says, united we stand, divided we fall.
Yeah, sure.
Without even going very far, we have always been victims of ethnicity. Look at what is happening in Congo. The Banyamulenge people are being chased away out of their country.
Yeah.
Okay, we are talking about DRC because it's just in the neighbor. But other African countries, there are a lot of issues within their social norms and social, you know, there's no social cohesion. You find an African country, in the cities, people don't have roads. There's no infrastructure. Why? Because of corruption. So we need to account our political systems. So it's very, very important.
All right. Guys, can you clap for him, please? All right. So before we take our break, to give you also the time to take some water, I have a question, not for you, Miss, please. How can young people turn African culture and the linguistic diversity into a strength for unity rather than a source of division? Mr. Davis.
One thing that I really like to talk about is discipline.
Discipline.
Discipline really is the backbone of every progress in every society, in everything that we do. Okay. Culture, background, what you've studied, okay. It's good. But the behavior side is also very important. You understand? So your behavior goes from you, graduates and goes to your family, and graduates and goes to your academics and working environment, and it affects the society. So it's very, very, very important. And I think when we continue working on our discipline and the architecture of our discipline, there's nothing Africa cannot achieve. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. I know our audience also have some questions, but before we start with you, let's take a little break. Mr. Emmanuel, can we take a little break and then we shall come back in few seconds, just 5 seconds, please. Thank you, guys. I kindly remember, guys, ladies and gentlemen, watching this show right now, if it is your first time to watch African Youth Time, African Youth Time, it is your show who is passing every Thursday at 7:15 up to 20:15. And here we still have our guests, Miss Jolie and Mr. Davis. So our audience, I'm going to start with Mr. Joshua. Joshua, welcome.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
Fine.
Are you okay?
I'm good.
I know you have a question. Can you
Yeah.
please ask your question?
So thank
And you have to mention the person
All
because
right.
we have two guests. So if it is for Miss Jolie, it's okay. If it is for Mr. Davis, it's okay.
Thank you so much. First of all, let me first introduce myself.
Yeah.
Like you said, my name is Joshua Gasasira. I'm also a youth Pan-African member.
Yeah.
So my question goes to Mr. Davis. What connection do you see between, or do you see among responsible leadership and African unity?
Thank you for the question.
Responsible leadership and African unity, it is rotating around performance. How are people performing? How are governments performing? And it's very important. You know, today we have a very big problem of mobility. Air fee is super expensive in Africa,
Yeah.
and we still have challenges of some African countries giving free visa entry to African people of African descent, and we see, you know, a lot of paperwork in between, a lot of, you know, checklist is too big, you know. There's a problem of free movement in Africa. Well, we have to say thank you to some countries that are really working on it and trying to do something about it. But there is a very big issue of some African countries still making it hard for other African brothers and sisters to access their markets. So, you know, when you say leadership and how, that is why it is rotating around, it's performance. So I just picked only the infrastructure, but you can go into the health system. If the health system in Rwanda is really working well for us, whereby through Mutuelle de Santé you can have your treatment in any health center around Rwanda, but it's not how it is in other African countries. We still have African countries whereby parents, mothers are delivering in the village without having proper medical attention.
Yeah.
And it's a big problem. And that is why we see mortality rate, you know, increasing. And how do we now join hands in terms of performance so that we address these issues, and that is the most important thing.
All right, and how can we solve those problems? Because there are so many. So according to you as a leader, and a member, a leader of PAM, Pan-Africa Movement, which kind of advices you can give to those young generation according to the question about how we can solve, which kind of opinion we can give to help the governments for other countries to find a way to solve that kind of problem?
First of all, young people need to be involved. They need to be part of the decision-making processes. One, because we've gone to school, okay? We know the problems we are facing in the society, okay? You start from there. Instead of dying going to the Mediterranean Sea and dying and fighting to go in Europe, and when you go there, you don't even come back.
Yeah.
Why don't we face these problems and we turn challenges into opportunity? So that is the turning point. That is very, very important. And I want to ask every person that is listening to us, look around. There are a lot of challenges within the society. The solution is not, you know, I'm going to commit suicide because there is no road connecting my village to another village. I'm going to do drugs because, you know, we always have these, I call them lame excuses.
I was about to ask you the same question.
Excuses.
Yeah.
So we need to be very, very careful. We come up with NGOs, non-profit organizations, and these NGOs not to be manipulated by people who wish us ill, but to be a tool to decentralize different government programs. Okay. And then through addressing these challenges, we come up with innovative solutions, and these innovative solutions, they turn into, you know, addressing African problems to African solutions. So that is where it is rotating now. Performance is very important. And we have tools, we are connected, we are on digital platforms, okay? We use these digital platforms to self-educate ourselves and how we can solve these problems, okay? We have a problem in infrastructure, we have a problem in youth unemployment, that's a very big challenge. We have all these issues. And if we continue complaining and complaining and complaining, we are going to, you know, become old when we are still complaining.
So we need to make
the time
action.
is now.
Right.
We grab the opportunity, we see the challenge, we come up with possible solutions, we consult. It's normal to consult. It's okay to consult. We cannot know everything.
All right.
It's okay to consult and ask people, how do you address this issue?
All right. All right, let me give it's time for Ben also to ask his question. Please, Ben. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Ben Yonchuti.
Yes.
I'm a youth commission member, and my question goes to both Davis and Jolie.
Good.
My question is, how can education and leadership training help build a generation of united African youth? Thank you.
So I think I might go first. Ladies
Yes,
first.
ladies
Problem,
first.
ladies first.
Anyway, so because he's my leader, he might say something and then you'll be like, I'm building up on what he has said. So I should go first and then, you know. So that's a good question about education and training, how it can build up, you know, the African unity. So I think, what are we teaching ourselves when we meet up, when we go for those trainings? What are the key points we are learning from that? So from that, from the topics we are learning or we are being taught, I think it's where everything starts. So we might be doing the trainings, but what trainings are we doing? Are we training ourselves, you know? These also trainings that separate us, tell you that you are Rwanda and you shouldn't talk to this other person. Though they have not seen them, but they might be there, where people sit down to discuss how different we are from other people, you know. those are some trainings that happen, but what trainings do we give to ourselves? So I think we should also focus on what are we teaching people. When we meet as Pan-African Movement, when you're in our trainings, when he calls us up, what are we learning? What are we talking about? Are we talking about, you know, being united? Are we talking about being one? How are we going to build the united Africa? How are we going to get, you know, to that far place that we want to get to as Africans, as far as we talk about the unity? So I think it starts from the roots of what are we going to be taught. So I think you can add on that about the education and the trainings.
Yes, Mr. Davis.
What I can say on Ben's question is to always ask ourselves, is the education and the curriculum matching our needs? So you may have studied European history. What is it helping you today? So you see how we've lost time. So it's like Africa's lost time. Okay? Africa's lost time in a way that I spend my entire secondary school or my upper secondary school learning about European history. What is it going to help me?
When you're gonna visit maybe Europe, you can have an idea about their countries.
Yeah, that's what I think I'll go on his
Those
side.
are things you can go on internet and read.
Hey,
You Google.
at that time,
But it is good. It is good. It is good because Europeans are friends and we are their friends. They are customers. We are their customers. I'm not being biased, but how is our curriculum serving us the best way we want to be served?
yeah.
Teach me how to construct a boat. Okay. This is why now the government of Rwanda has prioritized TVET training. TVET, you know, it is scientifically proven that after finishing your TVET, actually doing TVET course, and that as you undertake your course, you already have job opportunities. Okay, like people are into, you know, this electricity, fixing electricity in houses. People get little money, and it keeps you moving. You never go dry in your pocket. So our education system should be addressing our key challenging issues. You know, teach me how to be a very good mechanic of all these bikes moving around. The next day I have my mechanic shop. All the bikes coming to my shop to be repaired, I'll be having money, isn't it? Instead of spending, half of my semester studying something that I'm not going to use. Okay, so we need to challenge our thinking. How is our education system honestly serving us? So you have our brothers from Burkina Faso live online. I really like President Touare's concept. He's nurturing young African cadres at a young age.
Yeah.
At a young age. And it is embedded into the education system. The philosophy, the understanding, how do you love Africa and find solutions to African problems? And one weapon that was really stolen from us, it is education.
Good.
And today we have engineers, but we don't have enough engineers.
We need more.
We need more. We need to come up with science. We need to come up with, all these subjects that are meeting the market's needs. Okay, the internet is taking the world nowadays. I can sit here and I know what is happening in a village somewhere in Cotonou.
In Cotonou. Nice one. All right, so thank you so much for those explanations. It's very grateful. All right, sir, we give the mic to Mr. How are you, sir?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good.
Okay.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Evelyn Indaman.
Yes.
Yeah, president of Gabonese Association. So I will speak in French because I'm better than I'm better in
You are
French.
better in
and-
French than in English. Okay, I will translate
and you
for
will
them.
translate
Don't
exactly.
worry, yes.
So, donc, j'ai deux questions. Ma question de voler. Il faut qu'on se dise les vérités. Le continent africain, comme le continent européen, américain, n'a jamais connu d'unité. Donc, je m'explique. En Afrique, quand on connaît l'histoire, on a eu plusieurs royaumes.
Yes.
On a le royaume du Mali, donc les Bantous avec le royaume du Congo, avec Ranka, qui regroupe plusieurs régions et pays. On a eu le royaume du Luanda, etc. Avec le royaume du Bénin,
Ouais.
etc. Donc, ils n'ont jamais été unis, mais c'était des royaumes à cette époque qui étaient très riches. Et voilà. Pareil aux États-Unis et partout, plutôt en Amérique. Alors, est-ce que on a besoin d'unité pour réellement progresser? Est-ce que le problème, ce n'est pas un problème, disons, est-ce qu'on n'a pas besoin d'investir dans l'économie africaine? Je prends un exemple. Jusqu'à présent, on n'a pas de zone libre d'échange. Qu'est-ce que nos mouvements panafricanistes, donc je m'adresse à nos deux invités, qu'est-ce que nos mouvements panafricanistes ont fait dans le domaine de l'économie? Ma deuxième question est de savoir quel est l'intérêt profond d'un Africain aujourd'hui à être uni. Lorsqu'on
Let
a
me
des...
go with the first question. Permettez-moi d'aller avec la première question parce que là je vais me perdre. Okay, the first question, he gave an example. He said America, Europe, and Africa in the past, before those countries growing up, those continents growing up, they were not the unite. So what? What Pan-African movements like you guys you can do in economy to help African countries to have a good partnership to increase our problem, to increase our economy. Let me start with
Ladies first.
Jolie, and then I'll pass to Mr.
So I'll just talk
David.
about one thing: leadership. Africa, we can do anything. We can partner, we can develop, we can do anything, but it all fails with the leaders. Some of our leaders, it's like when they enter into leadership, they just want their own benefit. They don't think of including like, the rest of the population. They don't want to know what people are really facing underground. So our leaders, if they have that mindset of, like benefiting themselves before benefiting the society, I think we can never be, united. I think there is one thing, there is our president, there is a proposal that he had given of uniting Africa. There's this, proposal that he had given, but a few of the countries accepted. And many of them, because of the poor leadership in their countries, they kind of refused because, they thought of if we be united, maybe we are going to lose our, our strength that we have. If we include these people. Africans, there's that mentality that we have to change.
So we need to change the mentality.
The mentality of African leaders, and us youth are the ones who are supposed to do that.
Okay, what about the economy?
So that's where economy comes. If we have poor leadership, then we can't even talk about the economy. So if we build the leadership up there, if you can see Rwanda, what is happening in Rwanda, from the churches to where we are right now with the economy. The economy didn't just come just like that. It came with leadership. Good leadership comes with everything that comes with leadership.
All right, thank you. Vous avez compris?
Mais moi, j'aimerais avoir son avis.
Son avis aussi, et puis par après. Mais vous avez compris ce qu'elle a dit?
Oui, oui, exact.
All right. Brother?
Merci beaucoup, mon frère. mon frère camarade. Bottlenecks. How do we address our bottlenecks? Bottlenecks are everything that is stopping a specific policy, a specific government program to be implemented. Simple as that. There are a lot of bottlenecks. You look at this problem holistically. C'est un problème très grand. Parce que you cannot say education and leave behind security.
So they have to go together.
You cannot say security without food. Tu ne peux pas dire sécurité sans nourriture,
Exact.
sans agriculture.
Aha! The president can speak also French. That is good.
They need to go
Hand in hand.
Together.
à la même temps. So you have to be very, very careful. You raise a man, you leave behind a woman, becomes a problem. You provide electricity to my... Je vais donner l'électricité dans ma place natale,
I understand.
dans le même pays. But you have a full country. When you discriminate your region, you say, because I come from here, I'm going to give them security, and this place I'm not going to not give them security. Those are bottlenecks. You know, something that is going to tie and squeeze. It's a very, very big issue. Okay. Salaries. La salaire, ce n'est pas la même. Une autre personne, le salaire est très élevé. L'autre personne, c'est en bas.
Yeah. And
How do you see? There's a very big issue. When our President Paul Kagame was the chairman of AU, I think in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, they came up with AU reforms, and a very wonderful project called African Continental Free Trade Area was initiated. For this specific program to be initiated, we need ratifications. Like countries need to ratify. Do you know what? Some countries in Africa said, no. We are a very big economy. We cannot open up
We
to.
can't open up to free trade.
that's the problem. we have.
And we have failed to differentiate between competition and collaboration.
Thank you, Mr. All right.
Thank you.
So the second question, vous pouvez poser la deuxième question vite fait parce que
Oui,
le temps nous
vite fait,
presse.
Vite fait. D'ailleurs, il a emboîté le pas. Ma deuxième question, c'était de savoir qu'est-ce que pour un Africain,
Ouais.
qu'est-ce qui est nécessaire pour un Africain d'appartenir au mouvement panafricaniste? Parce qu'il y a des pays exactement qui sont très riches et qui n'ont peut-être pas besoin de cette unité. Ils vont se dire, moi j'ai le pétrole, j'ai le manganèse, j'ai l'uranium, j'ai tous ces biens, et une fois c'est bien produit, c'est bien développé, qu'est-ce que j'ai à voir avec un pays qui
n'a
n'arrive même
rien.
pas à manger? Voilà.
Ouais. Mais il a répondu, j'espère.
Non, mais je voudrais savoir, c'est quoi l'importance, moi en tant qu'Africain, quelle est l'importance d'appartenir à un mouvement panafricaniste? Qu'est-ce que ça va m'apporter?
Good. So his question is, as an African, what Pam can bring for him, and he know already he has everything behind him. He has gold, he has everything. So what Pan-African movement can bring to him to help him also to understand that movement?
See, Pan-African movement is simply an ideology. It is the understanding, okay? Live around the natural resources. Live around the natural resources. Live around the insecurity, okay? All those are our problems,
Yeah.
okay? But the understanding of how do we use well the natural resources we have, it's very important, okay? So c'est une idéologie, panafricanisme. Mais c'est une idéologie cross-cutting. How do you contribute the best so that the insecurity you have as an African can be addressed? I can give you an example. When President Nyusi of Mozambique came to meet President Paul Kagame to help him fight terrorists in Cabo Delgado. As a Pan-African, you need to understand that peace and security is an epitome. It is part and parcel of the composition of African progress. So the understanding, the ideology, the philosophy of saying, I am an African, my brother is coming to me with a problem of insecurity, and I already know the importance of security. Why don't I help? Mind you, there are Rwandan soldiers that lost their lives.
Yeah.
So there is a part of sacrifice. What are we sacrificing for this history? For what are we sacrificing for this ideology of Pan-Africanism to be instilled in young people, we the young people, and people in decision-making seats, and cross-cutting private sector, public sector. So it's very, very, very important. So whether you have minerals, whether you have specific problems, the first and foremost thing, I am an African, and I need to do everything. If I'm a Munyarwanda and I go to study in the US, why don't I bring money and invest in my country? Because Africa is not, today, the world is a global village.
Yeah. Sure.
In the morning, I'm in Rwanda. After 8 hours, I'm in Britain, UK. The next morning from Britain, I fly to Kigali. Why? Because there is flight, direct flight. So strategic partnerships is very important. Okay. Just yesterday, I was watching on television, there is this company called Trinity Metals. It exported, I think, tungsten to the US. So we get our product, we commercialize, we customize, we open our markets. So Africa needs to open its markets. But it has to start within how leaders understand these issues of open market. And we need to create strong systems, functional system. Today, if I can open a company in Rwanda, and within 6 hours, I have my registration, I'm an MD, I have my board, within 6 hours, I've started operating and paying taxes. Why is it becoming so hard for other countries to do the same thing?
All right. Good answer. I think my brother is very satisfied. Brother, just for few, because the time is done for really. Ask your question. Madam also, you're going to ask in the same time, and then they will give just us the globe of the answer. All right? Please.
Okay. I'm going to speak English. So
Good.
I speak French, but I'm going to try. So, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Dionga Kevin Max Moise. I'm a student. I'm in charge of communication for the Association of Gabonese in Rwanda. So, I have 2 questions. So, first of all, I'm going to give you the first one. Which inspiring example of young African leader already embodied this path toward unity? And the second one, can you give us some key factor for effective leadership?
That English is easy. Good. Madam, please. You get the question?
Yes, there are two. There are two, yes.
Please.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Alexia Witonze. I'm going to ask Miss Jolie.
Très bien.
Okay. Jory, which leadership skills can be adopted to help in achieving African unity? Thank you.
Thank
I think
you
her
very much.
first question and his last question are the same.
They are the same,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I'll go with that, and then he goes with the first one.
We still have just 2
1
minutes.
second. So the first leadership skill, inclusivity. Include people. Making decisions, include people. If you're a leader somewhere, include people in your decisions, in whatever you want to make, inclusivity. Second, that we need as Africans, the conflict resolution skills. How do we resolve our conflicts as Africans? We have many ethnicities and, but how do we resolve our conflicts? I think with more time, I think we're going to share more about that. But those two, if you have them, Africa will be better.
Thank you.
Yeah, mine is I nowadays honestly I like Traore. Okay, Traore. The concept of Traore, I pray God keeps himself because
Burkinabe president.
The Burkinabe president. Honestly, I want to visit Burkina people.
Burkina
Please
Faso.
invite me. I want to come and visit you. On the second question. So to in a nutshell, like to combine all, I think the president of Burkina Faso is not even 40 years. Is it 40 years? Is it 40 years now? No.
Somehow, I think so. Yeah.
30 something.
30 something. Or
He's in his late 30s.
Yeah.
So I think we can take him as a good youth, and we take good example from him because he's doing a wonderful job. Because last time I was seeing the roads that he's constructing, going deep in the village, and trust me, within 5 years, even within 3 years from now, you will see. Because when you talk about movement of goods and services, it all rotates around infrastructure. Okay, let me not go far. And on the part of what our leadership, number one, I let us take Rwanda. Rwanda chose one, accountability. You need to be accountable. Okay. Number two, you need to think big. Think big. Today we are hosting international events.
Yeah.
Why? Because of thinking big.
Yeah.
And that is not just hosting international events. That is money flowing into our economic circulation. Okay. Number three, unity. Where there is no unity, people die. We need principled leadership. We need visionary leadership. We need people-centered leadership. Okay. Before you think about your stomach, think about have my people eaten.
Good.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Lorenzo. Thank you so much, Miss Jolie. It was a pleasure to have you in this show, and thank you again.
Yep.
And I think it is not the last time.
Sure.
Maybe I will have you on next Thursday.
Please.
All right. Thank you guys for your participation. Thank you very much. May God bless you. Thank you for watching us. Thank you the team of Isango Star. Thank you the team of Vera Africa. I was the host of this show. My name is MC Jig Blue. See you very soon. Bye. Have